Okay, here we are. So we're live back again with the 6-2 on the cross of distraction. Let's get to a 6-2. Oh, and they're ever distracted. You can imagine how distracted they are when they're young, and they're always distracted from doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's one of the things about distraction. Yes, I really was going to come and pay my ticket today, but there was this beautiful girl. I was a school teacher for years. I used to love the excuses the kid would bring. Every level of distraction you could imagine and all invented. I remember one kid saying to me, my cat got hit by a car, and went through this whole long story. And I see his mother a couple of weeks later here on the island, and I said, how's the cat? She looks at me. I was nuts. I said, wasn't your cat hit by a car? She said, my cat wasn't hit by a car. Where did you hear that? Oh, yeah, I was distracted. You can always see that when kids know that teachers are about to give them a test or something. There's always one kid there who has some kind of question, hoping that it will distract the teacher from the direction that they were going to take and get the teacher to start telling some kind of story. And then afterwards, the kids walk around and say, got him, I distracted him. So the whole thing about the 3-2 configuration is that they're going to be very distracted. If you're looking at a pretty girl while you're crossing the street, you could get killed. It's one of the things to keep in mind about the quality of distraction. And of course, this is different for parents and these children because you say to the child that you have to go and do that. And if the child is moving in this direction, anything will distract him. As a matter of fact, if there's nothing to distract them, they'll look for distraction. On the roof, they can make a fortune from distraction. We already know scientifically that the placebo effect is legitimate. In other words, if we give somebody something that really has no properties and it can truly help them get rid of the pain, as an example, they will still reduce their pain. So there's an incredible placebo effect that is possible when you're 6-2 on the roof. That is, you can distract people from their pain. So many therapists, so many healers, the people I call the people that wear white hats and do black work are in the distraction business. They're distracting you from your not self pointedness, and they're not trying to get to you to become some of not self pointedness and trying to get you by distracting you from what is really disturbing you. So many of these exercises that you see in the new age, the physical things that people are put through, are simply distraction system to try to draw them away from their own limitation and to try to bring them to a place where they suddenly realize they have to transcend that limitation. Distraction can be very useful that way. You can distract somebody into crossing a line that thought they would never cross. So there's a value in that, and there's also of the limits, dilemmas. I guess for me, the irony of the 60 on the roof on this cross is that it would be fascinating for me, that it would be like a wake. What it is to be to an example of perfected distractedness, to one never has the opportunity to be either observer or observed, because you're too distracted to be either. It's the interesting position. Then we get to the good old 6-3. All 6-3s have the same dilemma. It's all right to be distracted, but what is the real value of distraction? And for them, this is the sudden recognition of what that value is, because they're going to be looking at the 31 gate. Oh, the 31 gate, I'm a 7. I have 3 activation in the 7. When I smell the 31 gate, I leave. I like my 7s going out to the 10 door. I don't like being conditioned by 31s. This is the heaviest material conditioning there is. This is the expression of collective leadership concretized in form. So the 6-3 that is sitting back here on the 56, they're sitting back here with this distraction, learning because they're consciously distracted in the 3-6 process, constantly distracted, and they realize the value of distraction. What happens to them is the discovery of the third line process that is all over one throw through all of their up and downs, their cross lines they never thought they could cross, and they even remember how they crossed them. How did I do that? There is this wow. The example of this is that most human beings in this experience of driving a car will notice that there are occasions where you suddenly realize you've been driving 25 blocks and didn't even know you did. You're so distracted you didn't even know you were driving the car. I had that the other morning. I'm driving down and I'm distracted and then go right by my normal turn, go right by the whole thing, totally distracted. And then you wonder, how did I get here? How did I miss that? How did it work? So this is something that the 6-3 really gets deeply. It's like, the whole business about travel and space. If you're Newtonian, even if you're Einsteinian, you're basically saying, okay, we have to go from here to here. So there's some kind of line. But the 6-3 always look at the problem and says, but what if you took both sides and you did this? What if you just folded space? If you folded space, you could put both those two dots and so close to each other that you would walk from this end and to that end in a fraction of a second. Now, this is what you get from distraction. It can be truly brilliant. It can recognize that it's not so much that you break or bend or avoid any law, that the law itself is pointless. You don't have to go from here to there. If here and there are in the same place, it's obvious for the distracting mind. All you have to do is fall to space. All these people are running around saying, okay, you have to accelerate, you have to get there, you have to travel there, it's very far. How are we going to get to the Proxima, whatever? You just go like this. All you need to do is a very clever little person who figures out how to do that. By the way, they are experimenting with all that. They understand the principle. Distraction is truly in the world. It's a very big thing. And now, slowly, we go into the next gate. And this is going to be the 31 gate, my gate of discipline. Woo! Discipline time, guys. We're going to get discipline. Uh-oh.